Well, good morning, everyone. It is Friday, and today is Free to Be You and Me Friday, which is why my dear friend Sparky here is just like hanging out, being Sparky, because Sparky is Sparky. He is one and only and unique, as am I. My name's Sophie, that's Sparky, and it's ready for Storytime time. So I am going to start with a story from Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. And this is called Just Me, Just Me. Sweet Marie, she loves just me. She also loves Maurice McGee. No, she don't. She loves just me. She also loves Louise Dupree. No, she don't. She loves just me. She also loves the willow tree. No, she don't. She loves just me. Poor fool. Why can't you see? She can love others and still love thee. Isn't that a good one? So that is Just Me, from Shel Silverstein's Where the Sidewalk Ends. I love Shel Silverstein. Now, I would like to start the day and say hello, and I know that Sparky would too. Aren't you ready, Sparky? Yep, Sparky wants to say hello. So we're going to say hello. How are you? Let's wave, shall we? Oh, hello. How are you? Oh, hello. How are you? Oh, hello. How are you? I'm just fine today. I'm glad to see you here today. I'm glad to see you here today. I'm glad to see you here today. I'm so glad to see you. Well, let's see. It's Friday, so let's clap our hands, shall we? Because it's the weekend's almost here. Clap, clap, clap. Clap your hands and clap, clap, clap. Clap your hands and clap, clap, clap. Clap your hands. I'm so glad to see you. I don't know about you, but the weekend always gets me excited, so let's jump up and down. Jump, jump, jump as high as you can, and jump, jump, jump as high as you can. Jump, jump, jump as high as you can. I'm so glad to see you. Alrighty, now why don't you do whatever you want to today, because it's all about you today. So do whatever you want. Here we go. Do whatever it is you want. Do whatever it is you want. Do whatever it is you want. I'm so glad to see you. And of course, you know, Sparky's going to tell me to make my funny faces. Let's make funny faces. Here we go. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, everybody, let's wave hello, because I have lots and lots of good stories to get to today. Hello, how are you? Oh, hello. How are you? Oh, hello. How are you? I'm just fine today. Well, I know that I'm feeling pretty good today, and I think Sparky's feeling pretty good today. I'm just going to adjust this just a little bit. There you go. We were a little bit high there, weren't we? We were just kind of like a talking head. But Sparky and I have some really fun stories that we would like to share with you, don't we? Yeah, and you know who these come from? These come from our friends Jayce and Delilah. And you're going to get a thumbs up from Sparky because we really appreciate your books, don't we, Spark? We really do. So today I have three stories from you. Instead of doing, for you, excuse me, instead of doing AA Milne's story poems this day, we're going to actually do three stories that came from Jayce and Delilah's library. So let's get started. Want to sit up there, Spark? Okay, very good. You going to hang out? All right, Sparky's going to hang out. And I'm going to read to you from Todd Parr's book, Be Who You Are. I love Todd Parr, you guys. He's a fantastic artist, and he is also a great storyteller. Be Who You Are by Todd Parr. That rhymes. Now, I do want to read you the letter. There's a letter here from Todd Parr himself, and it says this. Dear reader, when I was growing up in a small town in Wyoming, I felt like I didn't fit in. The other kids were interested in sports, but I wasn't. For my 4th grade class photo, I wore a clip-on tie and purple sunglasses because I thought it was cool, but nobody else did. It was hard for me to learn to read and follow along in class, so I was always trying to figure out how to fit in and be like everyone else. Finally, I realized it's easier and more fun just to be who you are. Love, Todd. Isn't that nice? So that's from Todd, and it's called Be Who You Are. Be who you are. And there's some examples of being who you are. There's somebody playing the guitar, and somebody wearing very nice red shoes and a little yellow skirt, and somebody being a superhero. Be old. Be young. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you each picture because they're so special. So there we go. Be old. Be young. Be a different color. I think that is very, very important. Look at those fabulous hairdos. Wear everything you need to be you. Now this one I have to show you the whole thing. Look at all those different fabulous outfits. Isn't that the fun thing about clothes? There's so many different kinds that you can express yourself with your clothing. Speak your language. This one says, hola, hello. Oh, she's speaking the language of love. And he's saying, meow. Learn in your own way. That is very important to me, I think, you guys, because I think we all learn differently, every single one of us. So it's good to learn how you learn. Be proud of where you're from. A little house, or a house on wheels, a big palace, an apartment, or even a doghouse. Be your own family. I really like the one with the big purple hair. I wish I could make my hair do that. Just be who you are. Sparky likes that page the best. Don't you, Sparky? Be silly. Oh, I agree with that one. Especially if it has ducks. Be brave. That one can be hard sometimes. Dance! I agree with that. Every day, we gotta dance. Play! Again. Discover. Learn and read. Share your feelings. He's not feeling very happy. Happy, mad, sad, silly, scared, proud. Here they all are. There's happy and mad and sad, silly, scared, and proud. Just be who you are. Try new things. Oh my, that's San Francisco for you. We always have food trucks. Be confident. Even if you're not the best, just try and give it your best. Stand up for yourself. That little mouse is saying no to the cat. Be energetic. If you can. Sometimes people can't be energetic, but if you can be energetic, be energetic. Be peaceful. That's important. I like that the dog is doing the downward dog. Be the best that you can be. And that means be the best that you can be for yourself, not for anybody else. Just be who you are. And there they are. And Todd says, it doesn't matter what color you are, where you're from, or who's in your family. Everyone needs to be loved. Always love yourself and be who you are. The end. Love, Todd. So that is Be Who You Are by Todd Parr. And I hope that you feel good about being who you are. I know I feel good about who I am, and I know that Sparky feels good about who he is. Don't you, Spark? Oh yeah, Sparky loves being Sparky. Yes, he does. Well, Sparky and I are going to do a very silly song for you about all the things that make us up, our body parts. That's right, because each of us is so different, but that's okay. Some of us have very long ears. Some of us have big noses. Some of us have big heads. Some of us have big giant eyes. It doesn't matter. We are who we are. So we're going to sing a silly song, though, and it's called Do Your Ears Hang Low? And you can help sing it. It goes like this. Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them in a bow? Can you throw them over your shoulder like a continental soldier? Do your ears hang low? And then we're going to do some other body parts. We're going to do our eyes pop out. And does our nose hang low? And does our tongue hang low? And Sparky's going to be up there doing it with you. But I am going to grab my guitar. Here we go. Remember, do your ears hang low? Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them in a bow? Can you throw them over your shoulder like a continental soldier? Do your ears hang low? Very good. Well, let's do our eyes. Oh, Sparky, hang on one second, guys. Oh, Sparky, you got us forward there. There we go. Do your eyes pop out? Do they wobble all about? Can you tie them in a bow? Can you tie them in a knot? Can you throw them over your shoulder like a continental soldier? Do your ears hang low? Wait, excuse me. I got so verklempt about Sparky being in the wrong direction that I did the wrong lyrics there. Let's start that again. Okay, let's try it again. Do your eyes pop out? Do they wobble all about? Can you tie them in a bow all nice and stout? Can you throw them over your shoulder like a continental soldier? Do your eyes pop out? Let's try your nose. Does your nose hang low? Does it wobble to and fro? Can you tie it in a knot? Can you tie it in a bow? Can you throw it over your shoulder like a continental soldier? Does your nose hang low? Okay, you know my favorite. And let's go one more time to our ears. Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them in a bow? Can you throw them over your shoulder like a continental soldier? Do your ears hang low? There you have it. Maybe when you say low, you can make your voice go low. What do you think, Sparky? Oh, Sparky thinks I'm being silly. Okay, well, I have a great story for you. It's called I Love You Stinky Face. What do you think about that, Sparky? What if I said I love you, Stinky Face? Yeah, you would take that? Oh, he said P-U. I Love You, Stinky Face. And this is by Lisa McCourt and Cyd Moore. And you know what? We have seen their work before, you guys. This is the same author of Room on a Broom and The Gruffalo. So, I Love You, Stinky Face by Lisa McCourt and illustrations by Cyd Moore. And we know it's going to be a good one because we've seen their work before. I Love You, Stinky Face, written by Lisa McCourt with illustrations by Cyd Moore. And this is dedicated for Amy and for my most wonderful ones, Lindsay and Brandon. And look how cute those little pictures are there. Oh, I love you, my wonderful child, said Mama as she tucked me in. But I had a question. Mama, what if I were a big, scary ape? Would you still love me then? I like that ape is wearing pajamas. Oh, if you were a big, scary ape, I would comb your whole hairy self to make sure you didn't have any tangles. And I would make your birthday cake out of bananas. And I would tell you, I love you, big, scary ape. But Mama, what if I was a super smelly skunk and I smelled so bad that my name was Stinky Face? Then I would give you a bath and sprinkle you with sweet-smelling powder. And if you still smelled bad, I wouldn't mind. And I would hug you tight and whisper in your ear, I love you, Stinky Face. I bet you our Mama Skunk says that. I love you, Stinky Face. Oh, but Baba, what if I were an alligator with big, sharp teeth that could bite your head off? Ooh, my goodness. That sounds dangerous, doesn't it? Oh, then I would get you a bigger toothbrush for those big teeth and make sure that you brush them every night so they'd stay healthy and strong. And if you had a sore throat, I would stick my head right inside your enormous jaws to make sure that you were okay. And I would say, I love you, my ferocious alligator. Ferocious is a big word that means scary. But Baba, what if I were a terrible meat-eating dinosaur with razor-sharp claws that ripped my sheets to shreds every night while I slept? Oh dear. Strip sheets, my goodness. Then I would give you plenty of meat to eat, if that was what you liked, and I would sew your sheets back together every day because, after all, ripping them would be an accident. And I would tuck you into your newly mended sheets every night and say, I love you, my sweet, terrible dinosaur. He's getting lots of hamburgers. Now I'm hungry. But Baba, what if I were a swamp creature with slimy, smelly seaweed hanging from my body and I couldn't ever leave the swamp or I would die? I love this child's imagination. Well, then I would build a house right next to the swamp, and I would stay with you and take care of you always. And when you splashed in the surface, I would say, I love you, my slimy little swamp monster. Little might not be quite the right word, huh? But Baba, what if I were a green alien from Mars and I ate bugs instead of peanut butter? Oh, goodness, bugs instead of peanut butter. Then I would dress you in colors that showed off your nice green skin. And I would pack your lunchbox with beetles and spiders and ants and grasshoppers and the tastiest bugs you ever had. And I would pack a note with all the bugs that said, I love you, little greenie. Bon appetit. Bon appetit is a nice word for a French word for saying, eat up. Eat up, it's good. But Baba, what if I were a cyclops and I had just one big gigantic eye in the middle of my forehead? I wonder what it's like to see with one eye in the middle of your forehead. Then I would look you right into that one gigantic eye and say, I love you, my little cyclops. And I would sing you a lullaby until your one gigantic eyelid began to droop and droop and finally close, and you fell fast asleep. I love you, Baba. And I love you, my wonderful child. And that's called I Love You, Stinky Face. And that is by Lisa McCourt with illustrations by Cyd Moore. Isn't that a fun book? I love you, Stinky Face. What if I said to you, I love you, slow boy? Would you take that? I love you, slow boy. Well, let's sing a song about love. It's called the Barney song. You may know this from the show Barney. I love you, you love me. We're a happy family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? I love you, you love me. We're best friends as friends should be, with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? I love you, you love me. We're unique, that's great, you see, with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? Give yourself a big hug. I love you, you love me. We're a happy family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? Well, I have one last story. And as I said, this is not going to be AA Milne poem. It's actually going to be a story. And it is about being adventurous. And it's called The Snail and the Whale by Julia Donaldson and Alex Scheffler. And it's called The Snail and the Whale by Julia Donaldson with pictures by Alex Scheffler. This is the tale of a tiny snail and a great big gray blue humpback whale. This is the rock as black as soot, and this is the snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock, and as she gazed she sniffed and sighed, "The sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail," said the tiny snail. It's a beautiful place to live, isn't it? These are the other snails in the flock, who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Oh, be quiet, don't wiggle, sit still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sniffed and sighed, then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a ride." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, "Ride wanted around the world." Look at that. I don't know if you know this, but when snails leave a trail, it's like silvery and sparkly and shiny. This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright, a humpback whale immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves, of shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held out for the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come sail with me." Look at that big whale. Isn't he fabulous? This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands. Look at those penguins. With fiery mountains and golden sands. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed, the tiny snail on the tail of a whale. Look at that. There's the snail right on his tail. Do you see him? He's so tiny. These are the caves beneath the waves, where the colorful fish and the feathery fins and the sharks with hideous toothy grins swam past the whale and the snail on his tail. Look at those sharks. They certainly look curious, don't they? This is the sky so vast and high, sometimes sunny, blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. That could be frightening, don't you think? And she gazed at the sky and the sea and the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all. And she said to the whale, "I feel so small." The world is so big, and sometimes we feel so small. But then one day came, and the whale lost his way. There were speedboats running a race, zigzagging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. Let me show you the picture there. Oh, look at all that going on. And this is the tide that slipped away. Uh-oh. And this is the whale lying beached in the bay. "Quick, off the sand, back to sea," cried the snail.
"I can't move on land. I'm too big,"
moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small, then said, "I've got it," she cried, and started to crawl. "I must not fail," said the tiny snail. I wonder what one tiny snail can do. This is the bell at the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling her class, "Sit straight, don't talk." This is the board as black as soot, and this is the snail with the itchy foot. "A snail, a snail!" The teacher turned pale. "Look," said the children, "it's leaving a trail." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail saying, "Save the whale." So there's the children, and there is the snail writing the message on the board. These are the children running from school, fetching the firemen, digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. Look, everybody's coming out to save the whale. And this is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting, "Hooray!" as the whale and the snail traveled safely away. Back to the dock and the flock on the rock, who said, "How time's flown, and haven't you grown?" And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of a humpbacked whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail. And they sang to the sea, and they all set sail on the tail of the gray-blue humpback whale. Look at all those tiny snails. And that is the story of The Snail and the Whale by Julia Donaldson and Alex Scheffler. And it is dedicated to Malcolm. And there's some little tiny... You know, I just realized I made a mistake. This is the book that was written by the same author and illustrator that did Room on the Broom and The Gruffalo. This is not, although it has the same sort of look. But this is a different author and a different artist, and I apologize. They have their own beautiful stories and their own artistic ways. And these guys are the ones that did The Gruffalo and Room on a Broom. So thank you very much to Julia Donaldson and Alex Scheffler for their many, many great books. Well, everybody, it is time to say goodbye for the weekend. And so I'm going to have my friend Sparky join me, and we are going to play the goodbye song. So get ready to say goodbye. All right, Sparky, you ready to play? Here we go. Goodbye, Jayce. Goodbye, Delilah. Goodbye, Maya. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Isabella. Goodbye, Gabriella. Goodbye, Lillian. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Madeline. Goodbye, Charlotte. Goodbye, Jane. special thing that Sparky and I would like to do. Sparky would like to sing happy birthday to my mom. That's right. Today is my mom's birthday. So we're going to sing happy birthday to Sue. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mama. Happy birthday to you. And Sparky wants to give her a big high 3. Don't you, Sparky? There's a big high 3 for my mama and for you. And I'd like to give Sparky a high 5, high 3. Doop, that's a high 8. And we want to give you guys all a hug for the weekend. So take one hand, put it on a shoulder. Take your other hand, put it on another shoulder, and squeeze really, really, really tight. That's a big hug from me and Sparky to you. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye, everybody, and happy birthday, Mom.